Let's go ahead and get started. I got noon, so let me hit this bell and get this Rotary Club of El Paso meeting started. Welcome everyone to our weekly Rotary Club of El Paso meeting. I'm very excited about this program, today's meeting. Everyone I see is a friend of El Paso, friend of a region, and that's what makes our community very, very strong. We're a huge town, but with a small town feel, because everywhere you go, you run into somebody you know. And I think today's program, our pop-up speakers, some of announcements, it's all going to come together how the great community that we live in. So moving on with our traditions, invocation, pledge, and four-way test. I believe it's going to be Warren Goodell who's going to lead us to it.
Thank you. Let us pray. Dear God, today you have the pleasure of Zooming with a bunch of hopelessly optimistic Rotarians with whom you have blessed with the helping gene. Thank you for trusting us to feed the hungry, to heal the sick, to clothe the poor, minister to our children, and provide assistance to those in need of ramps, bicycles, computers, fresh water, and more. We ask that you give us a poke every now and then to refresh our passion, encourage us to action, and help us inspire others to do the same. And please, God, help us find a way to replace the COVID virus with a pandemic of service above self. Amen. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Wonderful, Warren. That was excellent. I love pandemic of service above self. I love that. I love that. That is excellent. That is amazing. Thank you very much, Warren. So I'm going to hand it over here to Leah. She's got a pop-up guest. With this pop-up guest, it all starts coming together. All our guests, our program, and everything. Just looking at this slide, I'm very interested in what's going on. So Leah, take it away, please.
All right, thank you so much, Yasser. Welcome, fellow Rotarians. I am so excited about our pop-up guest. And most of you know her. It's Felipa Solis. Felipa is the executive director of El Paso's Pro Musica. And the reason I invited her is because she was this year one of the recipients of the Woman of Impact this year. And when she was giving her acceptance speech, which was held, the celebration was held in the parking lot because of COVID, held in the parking lot of the Coliseum. And Felipa talked about her late husband and how the Coliseum, how special the Coliseum was to him. So I'm going to let her take it away and tell you what she told us that evening, because it really touched my heart and it's so part of Rotary. Felipa.
Well, thank you so much for including me today. It's really quite an honor. And just to be a part of, Leah, it's just so great to see everyone and share, and Hal, Luke. I mean, these are just such wonderful artistic programs that are happening that are going to touch our future. And just that evening was so very special. And we were at the Coliseum in an event unlike any other. And it was a drive-in, like a drive-in movie. And what was so wonderful to me is that, and what's so wonderful about even like what Hal is doing and Luke is doing and what all of you are doing, is that El Paso is such an incredibly amazing universe. And there are so many zip codes in our community, and all of the people we touch are from so many different backgrounds and so many places. And I was very overwhelmed that evening just because of the nature of everything, and just to see friends for the first time, even if we're in our cars waving and dancing and just, sending air hugs. But it was very touching for me because when it comes to El Paso, and Hal Marcus knows this, that I'm not a native. I was born in Los Angeles. My dad, I had a brother who had asthma and it kind of got better, and then he went back to LA. But he wanted us to grow up in a community where he had, as a choreographer, he was a Spanish dance choreographer, where he had been before, that had such a wonderful border connection, and a connection where you would have neighborhoods that are families that you wouldn't have in a place like Los Angeles. And that was always something that was very important, this big hug. And in my life, it's been such a big hug all the way around, including I'm going to talk about my amazing son who's getting his PhD at Columbia, and the man who I fell in love with and married. And that was Mickey Solis, who was a county commissioner here. He was a lawyer and a pharmacist. But it was so touching to be there at the Coliseum, and for that to be the chosen place, because just up the street at Sherman Projects is where he grew up. He was one of 6 kids with no dad. And his future, everyone's future didn't look so bright, even at the time when he was growing up, unless you had those coaches and those leaders. And he went to Jefferson High School, which is just up the road. And there he found that that idea that, yes, I can, si se puede, yes, I can move on and do things with my life and take care of my family and make a difference and never forget where I come from. And so I think that was the whole circle there, is never forgetting where you come from. Because one of the wonderful stories he would tell my son, and tell me, of course, is how as a child growing up in the projects, there was no chimney. There was barely, if you paid an extra $10 a month in the summer, you got a window air conditioning unit. And how does the story of Santa Claus, how does that stay in a child's heart? So every child in the barrio believed in Santa Claus, because Santa Claus did not come down the chimney. Santa Claus came to the Coliseum. And in El Paso, he comes to the Coliseum, and all the kids would line up in that parking lot where we were that evening. And they would just anxiously await the toy that they would receive. And they believed. And here it was, children who don't have much, who don't have anything. I mean, I think now about so many families that may not be able to have the Wi-Fi capabilities to be able to do at-home learning. And here it was a case of where his mom worked 18-hour days. And so you came home, you fended for yourself, but by golly, Santa Claus came to the barrio. And he came to what was then called La Roca, and he came to the Coliseum. And it was very, very poignant story for my son, my allergies, very poignant story for my son, because he learned with that the importance of giving. And what we used to do with my son is, when he was little, we would dress him up like an elf and we'd take him to Sherman. And the wonderful people from Peter Piper Pizza would donate pizzas, and we would have a little Christmas pizza party for the kids. And it's just kind of paying it forward again, that hug that we grow up with, and that hug that we share. And I think what you're doing, and even just, I need to order some wine and some dinner, because the end game is so very important. And the end game is that children from the barrio, they have a dream, they get inspired, they're going to go to school, and they're going to become incredible members of the community, and they won't forget where they came from, but they also won't forget who brought them there. And I think that's why this book is just so incredible to me, what Luke and Hal have done, because they're touching on our lives and our hearts. And that's where I'm fortunate in working at El Paso Pro Musica, because we talked about that night that the word art is part of the word heart. and music comes from the heart. And just having a conversation with Luke and Hal that how they're incorporating music in their project, that's just so exciting because it is. And that's what we're trying to do now, even in the pandemic with El Paso Pro Musica, is soothe and heal and comfort. And we've worked with Mr. Goodell, and it's want to do that again. And also to educate and inspire. And when we have stories like this of El Paso, because hopefully we'll be able to all get together and say, gosh, remember where we were with the pandemic? But here we were together trying to make a difference. So there were people back in the day who were making a difference for kids in the barrio. And that made a difference for our community as those kids grew up to be community leaders. They're going to be kids who are going to read that book, who are going to get inspired by Hal's story, by Luke's story, by their stories of faith and courage and just El Paso, that is going to inspire them. And so if anything, looking towards our future is everything. And anytime I can help anyone make that happen, I will. Leah has my number, but we will, and we will, and we'll share, and we'll have people be inspired, children especially, because they're our future. It's kind of really cool. Even our artistic director, Zul Daly, where he can be somewhere and an adult woman will come up and said, you played for my class in the 5th grade orchestra, and then you came back the next year, and I never forgot it. Now my kids are in orchestra, and it's this kind of involvement. So from Santa touching the lives of the kids in the barrio to what the Rotary is doing, it is one big circle. And then I think ultimately it's one big hug.
That was amazing. Let's give Felipa a great big virtual hand. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Very, very amazing. And yeah, the Children's Christmas Party is a tradition dating back to 1917, over 100 years.
Yes.
And what's exciting, this year we had a goal of not canceling, but reinventing. And the leadership of Stan Okies, the Children's Christmas Party will move on in Region 19 and all those folks. Children's Christmas Party will move on. Santa will not be at the Coliseum, but I understand Santa will be making different stops at 30 different locations this year. Hal Marcus and Luke Lowenfield with Buenas Noches El Paso, they've been gracious enough to donate the rights of this book. So we're going to be printing out, they'll probably be talking more about that, 4,500 copies for those books. And very amazing. So that's how all this starts coming together. I'm very excited because El Paso is one big family. Felipa, thank you so much for joining us. You're welcome to enjoy the rest.
Can I stay because I got to check these guys out?
Absolutely, absolutely. Welcome. All right, so thank you, Leah. Next up is today's a very special day because part of how it's all coming together. Today is the Winefest Curbside. Very excited about today's program, curbside meal. Over 72 sold. Last time, I believe we had 46 tickets. Today we have over 72 sold. This is going to be a crave at Wrestler. It starts at 4:30 p.m. But how it all comes together, a portion of the proceeds from today is going to go to buying the books and buying the giveaways for the Children's Christmas Party. So it's all coming together. Excellent event. Keep this also on your calendar. December 3rd will be Rulies. But today we're actually going to have a giveaway. And Arlene, if you help me pick a random participant, but Andy Watley, who's done a phenomenal job, him and his team with Carlos, doing an amazing job of marketing, have donated a dinner for two, 5:30 p.m. to a participant on today's meeting. All you have to do is show up 5:30 p.m. Crave on Wrestler, and here's the code. The code is Andy Watley is the greatest guy in the world. So if you win that, you get a dinner for two and a bottle of wine. If you don't want the bottle of wine, just leave it with us. But dinner for two giveaway. Don't forget, remind me who the lucky winner is. So great job, everyone. El Paso Winefest Curbside, tremendous success. Helps out our programs, helps out our sponsors for the Winefest. Mike Hackett and his team are doing an incredible job with this. Great, great job. I'm very excited about it. All right, so we do have a showcase series of one of our members is David Mills. David is an individual who he shows up. He is that silent hero. He'll show up to the ramp bill. He tells you what you're doing wrong in the nicest way. And he's been participating in pop-up projects. He shows up, helps out with the school supplies, makes donation. He's there at the blood drive. Incredible, incredible individual. Here's a little bit more about David Mills.
Well, I'm David Mills. I've been a member of the club for over 20 years. I was recruited by Teresa Kernigan, who, those of you who know her, you just can't say no to Teresa. So when she asked, of course, I said yes. And I've been very proud to be a Rotarian ever since then. Professionally, I'm an independent theater producer here in El Paso. I've worked in the past with Viva El Paso. I currently produce the Shakespeare on the Rocks Theater Festival. I'm the producer of the Los Actores, a bilingual theater company, and I work with the school districts and other local organizations on arts outreach and arts education. Now, specifically with Rotary, what I like about Rotary is that it brings together people to do good in the community. We're not there to make money. We're not there to advance our professional lives. We're there to help El Pasoans, help people in the region, help people internationally. And the programs that particularly have interested me and that I've become involved with are, number one, the ramp build, which I've been doing off and on for, many, many years. And I really appreciate Ray Cox and David Kessinger, because thanks to them, I'm keeping my carpentry skills sharp. And I keep thinking that, you know, if this theater gig goes south, maybe I can work as a laborer on a job site. The second thing which I like about Rotary is the international aspect. And I've been involved with Rotary Youth Exchange for over 10 years. It was Katie Updike who got me involved in that. And although she's no longer here in El Paso, those of you who know her know that just like Teresa, you don't say no to Katie. So I've been the chair of the committee for, ever since she left town. And I really like this program because it helps to build bridges between our community and communities all over the world, as well as between the United States and the countries from which the students come. We've exchanged students with Brazil, with Taiwan, with France, Belgium, Denmark, Germany. And I think it's really important in this world, which is so interconnected, that we foster the communication between the citizens of our city, our country, and those other countries. So I'm very proud and pleased to be involved with Youth Exchange, and hope to continue to do it into the future.
All right, everyone's giving a round of applause, virtual hug, you know, thumbs up for David Mills. He does an incredible job, and he's always very excited about all the different programs. And I don't know if David's online, but keep up the great work as always, David. All right, one of our this is pop-up project number 4 is a bike drive. I've seen some publications on Nextdoor, on Facebook, Craigslist. Sending out letters, making phone calls. So far, we have about, I would say about 16 bikes or so. We had a goal of at least 25, but those bikes are coming in. So help out, post those bikes. These bikes will be given away around the holidays, depending on how successful it is. We'll find a home for someone in need for these bikes. A lot of times, you know, some kids this is the only gift they get on Christmas time. So let's keep bringing those bikes in, and thank you everyone who's brought a bike in so far. All right, so it's all coming together with the great community involvement, and I'm going to hand it over to Mark Mathis. Tell us more about our program.
Fantastic! Wow, what a great program so far already with Felipa, and it's great to see friends here. very excited about bringing you Luke Lowenfield and Hal Marcus back to give us kind of the world premiere of their latest creation. So we know we were treated to seeing Buenas Noches El Paso last year, and all the good that has done, and even more to come with the children's Christmas party. It's always appropriate, I think, to have somebody introduce the guests who really know them. And so I'm going to ask Sam Trimble to help me out here. I know he's been working with Luke and Hal on this project. And so wanted to, have him make some remarks to cue this up for everyone. But really pleased to have Luke and Hal back. And Sam, take it away.
Mark, thanks so much. I didn't have anything prepared. He just texted me about 2 minutes ago saying,
hey, you're not supposed to say that.
But I couldn't say no, though. The last year and a half of my life has been a total roller coaster. Some of you may know, and some of you may not. But what I will tell you is there is always a reason why certain people come into your life at certain moments and have an impact on you that is immeasurable. And for me, Luke is one of those people. You remember when I got inducted into the club, I cried. So I'm crying a little bit now, and that's what I do. But anyway, Luke and I were having lunch, and there were all kinds of things going on. And Luke had told me that he had been working on a children's book. The guy is a jack of all trades. I mean, he is an attorney. He graduated from UT Law School, undergrad at Washington and Lee, and went back to Penn State and got a graduate degree in children's literature. And he told me about that, and just in passing, like it was no big deal. And I was just like, what? I barely got out of college with my bachelor's from UTEP and survived that. So we're sitting there having lunch, and he's telling me about this, and he says, hey, I'm going to go by the Hal Marcus Gallery and check some things out. You want to go? We go over there, and Hal wasn't there, but Patricia was there, his lovely wife, and Luke went back later. And long story short, a conversation was had with Hal where he was talking about, I've got this children's book I've written, and I'd love to have it illustrated and turn it into a book. And Hal said, oh, I can give you some names of some people, but why don't you read it to me? Read it to him, and here we are. So that's how Buenas Noches El Paso was born. And now Muchas Gracias Maria is truly, Buenas Noches El Paso was timely. Based on what happened in August of last year, it really brought us together. And I think Muchas Gracias Maria is timely because the women in our lives, the heroines of our world and of our lives, I'm sure all of you have a few that you could name instantly, are sometimes unsung. And when this idea came about in Hal's head in a dream one night, actually, we sat down and talked about it as a group. And it not only became something from Hal's brain and then Luke's brain, but it also, we live in absolutely one of the most beautiful in every way possible community in the world. Luke has called it home his entire life. Hal has called it home and chosen to stay here when he could have gone anywhere in the world his entire life. Has been a professional artist here for 50 years plus. And these are two people that I am absolutely honored to know, to call friends, and you guys are going to absolutely love Muchas Gracias Maria. So with that, I hope you guys enjoy their presentation.
Wow. Thank you, Sam. That was beautiful. And thank you, Rotary Club El Paso, for having us. Thanks for letting us come back and share this new project with you. We had a great time kicking it off and launching Buenas Noches El Paso with y'all in person a year ago. And I wish we were in person too, so we could do all the handshakes and hugs and high fives that we got to do a year ago. But now that's all off limits. And so we're glad to be with you virtually. And, just thank you, Sam, for showering us with all those good vibes and praise and love, and right back at you. We're going to start off this presentation with a video that Sam created that will give y'all a little flavor of what we've been working on. So I'm going to jump up here and share the screen, and y'all can see what we've been doing.
Welcome back to ABC 7 at noon. A new children's book is being released that's showcasing our unique border life, all through the eyes of children. Muchas Gracias Maria follows up on last year's hit, Buenas Noches El Paso.
Hi, I'm Luke Lowenfield. I'm the author of Buenas Noches El Paso. My name is Hal Marcus. I'm the artist that did the illustrations for Buenas Noches, El Paso.
Are you all ready? This is called Buenas Noches. And this blew my mind. And you know how they get kind of fat like pillows? Well, when I read it, I thought that they were just tortillas that were floating up into the universe. Muchas gracias, Maria is in here. It's a good one. You're going to love it. The boy continues his journey here in El Paso and on the borderlands, and even gets to cross over and explore a little bit of Juarez with his abuela Maria. Wonderful story. We're really excited about. The artwork is complete, the words are complete, and it's going off to print in the next week. We're excited to be back with you and with Muchas Gracias, Maria. Can't wait to introduce you to our latest creation. Signed by the illustrator and the author. All right, and we're back. What a journey. What a journey it's been. So what I'd like to do is read the book to y'all so that you can hear the story. And then we would love to have some questions and we'll get to share more about it. But I thought it'd be nice for y'all to get to hear this story. It starts off here. My birthday party's already starting in the playground of my mind. Daydreams take me fast and far on Fridays around this time. The bell's about to ring, and tomorrow we'll all sing happy birthday to me. I smile when I see Abuela Maria waiting outside, waiting at school for me. Outside, she takes me by the hand, and I feel light and free. When I'm with her, the air around me seems to get soft and warm, like the desert, like a peaceful desert morning after a nighttime thunderstorm.
I'll do the pictures, you do the words.
Beautiful. Together, we make a cake and tamales. She teaches me a song. Estas son las mañanitas. I try to sing along. Mom and Dad help me learn more Spanish, like gracias, por favor, and de nada. They teach me that life on the border is special because we get the whole enchilada. I fall asleep and fly through the night, exploring with my dream cat. She's covered in colors and stretched to the seas, just like our family map. Wake up, my love, I hear Mom whisper. We have exciting news. We're going to visit Maria this morning. There's a gift in Juarez for you. Inside Abuela Maria's house, I don't believe what I see. A star-shaped piñata dancing in rainbows 3 times the size of me. Maria can tell that my birthday piñata is too big to fit in our car. She asks her neighbor to borrow his truck, and together we all lift the star. A woman with flowers waves while we drive down the festive and loud, crowded streets. Dios te bendiga, Maria replies. She blesses whoever she meets. We cross the bridge with a world of people in every shape and size, and I wonder what it would be like to see life through each of their different eyes. When we get to the park, it's just like my daydream, with family and friends waiting there. But now I wonder how we will get my piñata up in the air. No worries, I hear Maria say as she leads us toward a tree. I'll climb to the top and the star will lift off. I've done this before, you'll see. We all take 3 swings, the piñata breaks open and the candies finally fly free. I'll always remember Maria that way, smiling with pride over me. Muchas gracias, Maria. The end.
And Maria's up on top of the tree. I don't know if you can tell, but she's holding the cord, and the other side of the cord is hooked onto her pickup truck. And it's Madeline Park, by the way. And the little boy has his dream come true with the world's largest piñata. When you can see Mount Cristo Rey in the background in Kern Place. It all takes place in El Paso.
So, as you all know, Hal Marcus's artwork is beautiful, local, and incredibly detailed. And so you'll have to get a copy, because the fun thing about children's books is they're meant to be enjoyed over and over and over and over. And that's just a perfect marriage for the artwork that Hal does, because every time you look at it, you can find something new, something different will jump out to you. And so make sure you get a chance to order a copy and read it with your kids, because you just got a little first glimpse of it today. I'd love to hear any questions that y'all have, or if Hal has anything you want to add now.
Well, okay, if you want to ask a question, you can just raise your hand or wait till the end. But what I want to talk to you about a little bit today is that how I got to know Luke. Like Sam said, they popped in the gallery. I did not know Luke at all, or Sam. And he said he had written a poem. He didn't even tell me he wrote a book. He said, I wrote a poem for my 2 little boys, and I'm looking for someone to illustrate it. So it piqued my interest a little bit. I said, come on over across the street to my studio and let me sit down and read it to me. Well, when he said Buenas noches, El Paso was the title, I really, really liked the title, because as we all know, El Paso has such beautiful nights. And so he read me the poem that was still kind of in a draft form, because we went through several different drafts when I had to start illustrating it. But in any case, right after he read the poem, and he was looking for somebody, not necessarily me. And I said, I'll do it. And he practically fainted. And he knew nothing about getting the books printed. He knew nothing about the design. He knew nothing about marketing. He just wanted a book to show his kids, because his mother had read to him all his life, and he'd been reading to his little boy. And he also has a degree in writing children's books. So we set out on this path. I started doing some drawings. He started changing the words here and there to fit the drawings. And after about 6 months, we actually had about 15 drawings to go with the book. Then we went to Judd Burgess, who has a bookstore here in town and also is a book designer. We made a contract with him to design the book, and then we put it out to bid to different printers. Luckily, we formed a friendship and a partnership with the Junior League last year, and we actually debuted the book with the Rotary. And that same evening, we were at the Christmas fair with the Junior League. So the Rotary last year, as well as this year, saw the book before anyone else. So we sold 350 books, I believe. 3,500? No, 3,500 books during that weekend. They gave us a booth right when you walk in, and we were just blown away. But prior to that evening, I had a dream about Muchas Gracias, Maria. And because my grandma would take me to Juarez as a young boy. I was 5, 6, 7 years old, because my grandma would buy the fruits and vegetables from my father's grocery store in El Paso. My father, Morris Marcus, had the Big 8 store here in Kern Place. And my grandmother would take me to Juarez because she got her hair done, she got her nails done, she bought her tortillas, she had all her friends. And as a young boy, 3, 4, 5 years old, I would go with her weekly. So this was about paying tribute to the Maria or to the abuela that helped take care of me and took me on these adventures. And then I found out that Luke's grandmother was also from Mexico. And I had this thing that I wanted to do a children's book where he was able to go to Juarez and come back and have a birthday and have that whole scenario, which only takes place one place on the whole planet that's happening in this book, and that's here in El Paso and Juarez. And especially with all that was going on with immigration and all the kind of heavy kind of bad news that was happening about El Paso, I wanted to try to make that feeling that we all know of how we lived in the past. And I wanted to make it refreshing and innocent and beautiful, because it always has been for me. And so I started Muchas Gracias Maria. So I knew about Muchas Gracias Maria when we were at the junior league.
That's right.
And we were also had bookmarks that said coming soon, Muchas Gracias Maria. Because I knew that Buenas Noches was going to be a big hit, and I wanted to come out with something else. So I told the story to Luke and Sam, and then we manipulated it. We went through several drafts, and then I started doing the paintings, and that took about another 6 or 8 months. And we became really, really close friends. We'd have a meeting once every 10 days. And it became a really beautiful thing. And right in the middle of when we were working on it was the August 3rd horrible incidents at Walmart. And then we just put the gas on because we thought, this is horrible. We need to teach our children beautiful stories about El Paso and to have something that we're all proud of. Every single page in this book, it goes through Scenic Drive, it goes to Mount Cristo Rey, it goes to Madeline Park, it goes to the Juarez Market, it has UTEP in the background, the clouds. I mean, all the artwork, if it gets really, really detailed, the fire truck that Maria borrows to take the thing says Paso del Norte on it. The bridge has hundreds of immigrants. Well, you want to show them a close-up on that thing?
Yeah.
I'm really proud of this piece in particular because it has hundreds of immigrants. It also has Mother Mary. It has the Three Kings. It has Uncle Sam. It has fat people, young people, Jewish people, Christian people, Muslims. And they're very intricate, very, very intricate. I also did a large painting of this one, which is 6 feet wide, which now hangs at Casa Ford. So I really got into the story of immigrants, even though this little boy is so innocent and he's got his piñata, and he's taking it across, but people are selling him elotes, they're selling him cotton candy, and it's a 2-hour wait, but he's enjoying every minute of it because it's this bicultural experience that he's never experienced before. And he's in this big, huge truck with this wonderful piñata, and he's going to Madeline Park with all his friends are there. Now, this piñata is really interesting because I love the star-shaped piñata because of the piñata on our mountain, which is actually a star. But Judd Burgess told me, he said, "Hal, did you know, you probably don't know it because you're Jewish, but that piñata is usually used at Christmas time. That's not a regular birthday piñata." I said, "I had no idea." I said, "You know what? We're going to set the whole book at Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa." So when the little boy is in his class at the beginning, there's signs and banners that say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. And so all of a sudden, we had Santa Claus, we had Christmas trees, we had a birthday, we had all the things that children look forward to. And so he comes across and the piñata is growing so big, they can't figure out how to get it up in the sky. And Maria always saves the day. She takes the ladder off of the fire truck. She climbs to the tallest tree in Madeline Park, and she instructs the person to open up the dump truck and tie a rope onto it. She climbs up to the tallest tree. The piñata goes up in the sky, and all the kids at Manda Park break the piñata, and they all run after and get all the candy. And that's the big finale. So I had this whole dream and the whole thing, and Luke really had a challenge because the first book, he wrote every word, you know. The second book, he was interpreting my dream into his poetry. And tell him how you felt about that.
It was really cool. It was a completely different approach. The first one emerged just sort of as a poem, and my reflections just diving into what was most pronounced in my childhood memories growing up in this city. And for this one, getting to hear a vision and a dream and an idea, and then starting to tease out some of those themes and starting to put a little bit of a plot line together and see this story evolve and develop was really cool. I think there were probably, 5 times as many drafts that we went through on this. And every time there were revisions and modifications and massaging it here and there, even with the artwork, it was fun working with Judd because he's got such a great eye for design. And he would say, hey, what if we have a close-up to kind of break up these landscape images? Or what if we have one more image here that kind of completes this journey and this story? And so it was a learning experience to approach it from a different direction, and something that I think turned out even better than our first one. I really love it.
So I don't know if you could tell on this one, but I thought it was important for the child that they know where El Paso is, because you live in El Paso as a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5-year-old kids, but do you know where it is on the map? Do you know it's right next to Mexico, right next to New Mexico? So here they are, he's getting ready to go to bed, and I don't know if you can see well, but his parents are saying, this is where we are, right there at that little point, right there, And then on the next page, he has this dream that he's riding on the United States because he has a spirit animal, which is a mountain lion. So he's riding on the United States, and here's the Pacific Ocean, and here's the Atlantic Ocean, and here's Texas, and here's Mexico. And what we came up with, this was, I call it kind of genius, is that it says, Mom and Dad helped me learn more Spanish, like gracias, por favor, and de nada. And they teach me that life on the border is special because we get the whole enchilada. We just thought that was super, super cool because we do get the whole enchilada by living here. So there's a lot of kind of philosophy behind the book that tells us how lucky we are, to be in such a colorful, bicultural, fun place that it's like a big secret and we're in the middle of it.
That's right. And how much we in particular get to be grateful for. In general, we know that gratitude is the antidote to despair. And there's a lot of reason to despair over the past year with the pandemic and the economic crisis and everything that we've experienced, the loss of loved ones, the fear, everything that's happened. And so we thought, how can we protest that? How can we put a different perspective and approach something with a spirit of gracias, with a spirit of gratitude? And who more should we be grateful for than the women that have influenced us and shaped us and made us into the people that we are, the ones that brought us into this world and the ones that may not have been family, but still had that influence. And so the people, the generations that we have, and then the place, the geographic setting and the political setting that we have here is something really unique and something that all El Pasoans, we want children to just know that and own that from a very young age, that this is special. I see myself in a book and I'm proud of where I came from. And I can't wait to grow up and join the Rotary Club and do good for this community, keep giving back, because all of y'all have this same spirit. And thank you all. I just love seeing all your faces on the screen and thinking about all the positive impacts that y'all have made on El Paso. And now, Alice Alligator's Animal Alphabet album to round out the trio of children's books.
So
here.
What happened is that once we started making books and they became successful, I had written this book 25 years ago, back in 1994, and it's the Animal Alphabet album by Aunt Alice Alligator. So I said, how cool would it be to have a 3-book set that we put all together? And one thing like that with a coloring book that fits right in, like that, and have a cool thing for the holidays. So Aunt Alice Alligator was one of the alligators at the Plaza de los Lagartos. And probably you all remember it from 20 years ago, but now it's in hardback. And it's alliterations, you know, like, tell me a letter, Luke.
About L.
L. Let me find let me find the L. Anyway, it's little Layla Ladybug lays lazily on a lily longingly in love with Lorenzo, the Latin lover lizard. So that's one of them. And this is Turkish Terrence Tortoise teaches tongue twisting tales that tickle the turtle toddler triplets. And it all takes place at Texas Western. This is Ulysses, the university umpire, was undeniably underdressed in ugly underwear. So it goes through the whole alphabet, and Aunt Alice Alligator from the Plaza de los Lagartos teaches you the alphabet. And this book has been totally redesigned by Judd Burgess, and it's a part of the set. And in the beginning of the book, it tells you about the Plaza de los Lagartos, how Aunt Alice Alligator used to live at the plaza. She was mistreated. She went to the zoo. She didn't like being in a cage, so she moved to Sunset Heights, and she retired, and she started writing children's book. So this is the book. There's a thing on the back here that tells you about Aunt Alice Alligator, how she can go to your school and your library, because we created a mascot. And by the way, I met my wife, Patricia, because I had just done this book, and she became Aunt Alice Alligator. And we went to every school and every library teaching kids the alphabet. And we lived happily ever after.
There she is. You see her sitting there right there.
So we got the 3-book set, and we got the coloring book. We have puppets. We also have a limited amount of coloring books with pages. Like I said, our world is upside down because we were supposed to be this weekend at the Christmas fair. We were also at Las Artistas, and that all got canceled. But we do have December 6th. We're going to be at the Montessori schools. Well, we're not going to actually be there, but it's going to be a drive-by. We're going to be there, but you just drive by and get this stuff. And on the 5th, there's going to be a thing called Learn and Tell, where we're having a class for the Junior League where the kids will get books and coloring books, and we'll have like an art class. That's when Kelly Roomba will be performing her opera. Either it'll be on tape. We're having her recorded right now. She did a whole opera of Buenas Noches El Paso, which is just blow you away. It sounds like Hanukkah or something. She used different themes and melodies from all over the world. We have a video we're working on. So, you know, go to muchasgracias.com. Like today and for the next 2 weeks, you buy 2, you get 1 free, and you get a free coloring book, and you get puppets, and you get colored pencils, and you get them delivered right to your door through the mail. So you can find out more about that later.
That's right. You can look in the comments or the chat, and you'll see the link to muchasgraciasmaria.com along with the coupon code, which is just Rotary, R-O-T-A-R-Y, all lowercase. And so any purchase of more than 2 books, apply that code and you'll get the 3rd one free. And so thank you all for supporting us. Like Hal said, we don't get to go out in the community and see everybody and sell these books and watch, hear about the stories of where they're going, the homes they're going into, the countries abroad that they're going to. And so we're dependent upon a new virtual type of commerce to get 5,000 of these books into the homes, mostly of El Pasoans and all of our friends and family abroad to get a little taste of El Paso. So thank you all for helping us with that. And with that, do y'all have any questions?
Yes, I have a question for you. I didn't get I know muchasgraciasmaria.com. What was the other one? It went by so fast. That you had mentioned.
Muchasgraciasmaria.com is the place where you can get all the books. But
okay,
the book was called Buenas Noches, El Paso, and then the other book is called The Animal Alphabet Album by Aunt Alice Alligator.
And the other one that you said something else, but that the only one?
Muchas El Paso.
Yeah, Muchas Gracias El Paso.
Muchas Gracias Maria, and the Animal Alphabet Album.
Okay.
Those are the 3.
Thank
and
you.
Also, when you make your order, you can mix and match them. If you just want 3 of the same books, that's cool. Or if you want 2 of one and 1 of the other, just specify, and you can. Now the books are $19.95, but so that the 3rd one is free. Okay,
And then you get the coloring books and the puppets and the colored pencils. It's like the Norelco onion slicer. For a limited time offer, you get a shit and you get a free duck with a Santa Claus costume on.
I also,
And you know, we have 5,000 of these in the warehouse, and we have 3,000 of the. So we're like oversupplied.
well, Hal and Luke, you know, on behalf of the Rotary Club of El Paso, we're so grateful for your donation of the rights to print 4,500 copies for the children's Christmas party coming up in December. We're very, very grateful, and Stan's doing a phenomenal job leading that effort, and we're very excited about this year's program.
Well, Yasser, let me just add that our committee, which is, I don't have all the names prepared, but I just got an email from Cindy Bilby, who's on the committee. She, Teresa Rockwell, I don't know who else is here that's on the committee. I can't see them all, but Sam Trimble. But Cindy just said that the Lala Imports, which is owned by the Marcus family, is donating 4,500 piñatas to the Project Head Start, the Rotary Project Head Start Christmas party, which we're not going to have a party. It's going to be actually drive-through at each of the Project Head Start centers, which are 31 of them. But thank you so much for Luke and Hal for your contribution. You're helping with this book. And thank you, Hal. And I saw Charlene Ashkenazi earlier. I don't know if she's still on here. She's part of the Marcus family.
Yeah, she
Thank
is.
you for your contribution of the piñatas and your support of this particular event for low-income children. We thank you.
Thank you, Stan. I appreciate that. That's exciting news. That's the first we've heard of that.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad to hear
right.
it. Thank y'all for taking Buenas Noches El Paso and putting it into the community like that. Really,
Right.
really cool. That was an idea, Stan, that you mentioned a year ago, and I'm glad to see it come to life now.
Well, we had some help. AC Sanders and Sam Trimble and some others helped with that as well. So thank you all for that.
Wonderful.
Are there any other questions before we say adios?
A comment is that these make wonderful gifts. Last time you guys stopped by our club, I picked up a bunch, and a lot of family or friends are in town. They just love them. I mean, they take it with them, and it's like they're taking a piece of El Paso love, and they're showing with their friends. You know, I'm planning to buy quite a few on these because they make excellent gifts.
Thank you.
Is there any place local? Is there any place locally we can get them?
Well, right now, they're only at the Hal Marcus Gallery, which we're kind of closed, but you can contact us at halmarcus.com or info@halmarcus. They're going to be, they'll be at Barnes & Noble's next week. Buenas Noches El Paso's already there. And at Brave Books on Arizona Street over there at Judd Burgess's place. And there'll be other places, but because of the COVID, we haven't been out dropping them off the places. And a lot of the retail places, newer Mediterranean cuisine has them. Just it's places where I go. Sometimes I just drop them off, but everyone's like sort of on lockdown. So the easiest thing to do is go to muchasgraciasmaria.com, because that way it'll be mailed to your house and you don't have to leave your home, right? But if you contact the Hal Marcus Gallery, we'll do a drive-by, pay in advance, drive-by, and we'll meet you outside. That's how we're doing business right now. It's just that serious.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions or comments? Guys, let's give Hal Marcus and Luke Lowenfield a great big applause, virtual applause. We're very excited. We're very thankful. This is wonderful for our community. And again, this all comes together with Felipe's story, the children's Christmas party, tonight's event. And hopefully I'm going to point to Mike Hackett to make a couple of comments, but it goes together with tonight's Wine Fest curbside, because we're raising money for that children's Christmas party. So a great day in Rotary, and we all needed this great news and great program, because all the anxiety that's going on and the politics and the pandemic and everything. It's good to be in Rotary, and it's all positiveness. Very Exciting. So let's give a big hand again to Hal and Luke.
Thank you.
Joining
Thank you
us.
for inviting us.
And Mike, I don't know if you have any additional comments today on what's on the menu today and the turnout of tonight's Wine Fest curbside.
Just looking forward to it. Look forward to seeing a bunch of people out there. I'll be out there to help hand out the meals tonight. Masked and gloved up as we need to be, but really excited. We had a good turnout, fairly good turnout from the club, and a lot of people from outside the club, which is really good to hear. We're getting a lot of public support for this project, which is nice to have. Can't wait to see what Ruli's going to throw out. I know that when I talked to him last, he has a line on Mescalero beef. Now, I don't know if any of you have been up into the mountains there and seen how they raise the beef on the Mescalero Apache Reservation. But there's talk about free-range beef that's grass-fed, and I'm excited. He said it's got a great flavor, and he's going to do something special with that for us in December. And so we're looking forward to that. And then we'll get, before you know it, New Year will be here, and January we'll run it the second week, so we won't have a New Year's Day meal, but we will have a meal set up for January as well. So get out there on the website, place your orders quick when you can. Remember, we can't order any more this week, so those of you who are trying to order now, I'm sorry. Cutoff is usually the Monday before the dinner. So be sure and get those orders in early. I got a feeling that next month we'll sell out.
Great work, Mike. We've gone from 46 to 70 plus and counting. So we got a couple of minutes left, so everyone's invited. Go ahead and unmute yourself. And we're talking about all these projects, and I always look at, a certain individual that as Rotary grows, as Rotary strong, I look at this individual, he's online, and I'm so glad to see him with his camera online. Sonny Brown, it's so great to see him. Every time something's good happening with Rotary, I look at Sonny.
Miss you, Sonny.
Because he's like, our mentor, Mr. Rotary, and there's a lot of individuals here that I'm so glad to see. We got some guests, Jimmy Melver, and it's hard to see every guest. I'm sure I missed many guests, but go ahead and unmute yourself and say hello.
Hello.
Hi, Sonny. Hi, Jimmy.
Hi, Sonny. Great to have you, everyone.
There we go.
Good to see you, Jimmy. Good to see you,
Sonny,
Sonny.
I would like my hair to look like your hair. Just saying. You have made your hair be going on right now. I'm growing out the bangs. I want my hair to look like yours. What is it that you do? What's your shampoo? You get sick, you get better. It's fabulous. Good to see you.
From a lot of smiles. You guys are fabulous. Tremendous program, tremendous ideas that you're going with. And this Hal and Luke, you guys are fabulous. You're a blessing to El Paso, and thanks to your buddy Sam for putting you together. We love you guys.
Thank you. It means a lot to us.
Thank you.
We love you too, Sonny.
Any other guests that we missed here online? I start scrolling, and there's a few folks I don't recognize.
Marty's currently on there, and thank you, Marty, for your contributions to these books. And her comment on the back here was, "This book is pure old El Paso." So thank you, Marty, for joining us and for all that you've done with the Montessori schools too.
Yeah, and Rosa Guerrero wrote a review for us in the back of the book too, and Emily Loya from PBS.
I think I heard that Steven Spielberg wanted to give you guys a call. I don't know about specific.
Well, they wanted us today, but we told them we were with the Rotary.
Appreciate that.
Cancel.
Yeah, you don't want a phone call from Guillermo del Toro. He'll change it up very weird. All right, guys. Anything else? Great program, Mark. Thank you very much, Sam. Great effort.
Thanks, Sam.
Remember, Rotary opens opportunities. This book will certainly open up opportunities, and the Children's Christmas Party and tonight's event will certainly open opportunities. So excited to see everyone. Next week, we got Tony Lang, Hector Hernandez, American Patriots. Should be a very good program as well. Look forward to everyone joining. We'll talk about how the Wine Fest curbside turned out and how good the wine was, the meal. So lots of stuff coming ahead. Stay tuned because we got some major plans that we're looking to announce Very creative board, very creative club. So great things coming along. Guys, Rotary opens opportunities. We'll see you guys next week.
Good to see you, Felipa.
Thank you, Felipa.
Thank you, Felipa.
See you, Felipa.
Thank you, Leah. And Jimmy, oh gosh, so well.
Yeah. Good seeing you, Felipa.
Good to see you and Stan and everyone. What an honor to be here today.
Yeah. Thank you very much.